phone hooked up to his computer so that we can see what everything looks like on mobile. He says, paste your website, everybody. We've got the lamp goods. We've got the Royal Look for Less golf dots. You worked with a golf company, I believe.
I did.
Yeah. So you might have something to say about them. I'll let you choose. We've got a handful of links in here. None of these have been vetted for NSFW, but that's okay. Let's gamble.
So many to pick from.
Yeah, we've got a good crowd here.
I'll just work back. Wait, hold on. geekygrandpa.co? That sounds cool. That's why I love a name where you read it and you go, I gotta know what that is. Like, if you said, oh, what do you do? And I said, I'm a dog lawyer. You're like, okay, what is a dog lawyer? geekygrandpa.co. All right, I got this loaded on my phone. And let's see. Let's attempt to figure out how I share screens. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, we should also tell everybody a little bit about Kurt Elster himself.
Oh, yeah.
He is the host of the unofficial Shopify podcast. He runs a conversion rate optimization and development agency called Ethercycle. He has been in this space for a very long time, specifically working with Shopify stores, doing migrations, improving the site experience. And he's seen probably about everything you can in e-commerce, and especially through interviewing merchants and technology providers and other agency owners. What else did I miss, Kurt?
Best known for hosting the unofficial Shopify podcast, now with 1.3 million IAB certified downloads. I've been working in e-commerce almost my entire adult life, starting with eBay in college. And I've the last 11 years, 11 years ago, I put out my shingle and tried to build my own e-commerce platform. Turned out that's really hard. Fortunately, a thing called Shopify came around 2 years later, and I jumped on board with that and never looked back.
Awesome. Love it. You got the screen sharing component?
Yeah, I got it ready to go.
Let's bring up what appears to be a composting site. Probably not what you were expecting.
It's true.
I don't know if maybe it's not composting. I got to figure out what this is.
Well, we'll find out. And while I'm doing that, why don't you look through the others and pick?
Yeah, I've got a few here.
Turns. Oh, what the heck? I'm trying to screen share this thing, and it doesn't let me do it.
It should be
iPhone, iPad via. Oh, it does let me share. I guess it's built into Zoom now. It says you could share iPhone or iPad via a cable. I'll do that.
Okay, plug it in.
I don't trust wireless. Wires are good.
Yeah, Bluetooth is problematic, to say the least. It's coming up.
You can see it?
No, it says Kurt Elster has started screen sharing, but
then nothing happened.
Yeah, it's just that's literally what I see on screen. Is that what you guys see as well?
It's connect your iPhone or iPad to this computer. When prompted, select trust. Except it's not working.
Crashed. This is what we get for, okay, yeah, they're all seeing the same thing. I know that we want to do this on mobile because we did it on mobile a few months ago now, and then we didn't do it on mobile the last time we did one of these, and somebody was like, but can you do it on mobile? And we were like, hang on, we have the technology. Definitely that mobile experience is important. I would say who here has got over 60% of their purchases on mobile? I think it's becoming more and more common. Certainly the traffic is there, but when you look at the conversion rate, it's usually 1/3 of your desktop conversion rate. And so we need to be thinking about and optimizing for that mobile site experience. Pedal says 80% mobile, buying CBD on mobile, right, on our phone. And that doesn't surprise me at all. And I think the younger the generation, the more likely it is to skew heavily mobile. You know, I've got my phone next to me at any given moment. All right, I see something. I see screen mirroring.
Yeah, it was like, oh, share a portion of your screen. And now I don't know how you resize it. Oh, it's working. Oh my gosh, we're getting somewhere.
It's getting bigger. Okay, we can basically see Okay, a little bit better. I can see the top of the phone screen, but not the bottom.
Okay, now you should see everything.
Yes, I can see everything.
Okay, fabulous.
Geeky Grandpa, here we come.
So we Google Geeky Grandpa, and we can see right away what's wonderful about this. He's got his title. This is like where you find out right away the advantage of having a good title, meta description, and open graph image. That's what this thing is showing. So that's fantastic. In the meta description, it opens with "We at Geeky Grandpa." I would like it gives me a good idea of what you believe in. I would just rewrite this with make it you focused and about problem solving. Like, hey, if you're looking, your one-stop solution for organic food composting, something like that, and then a call to action, like click to learn more. So let's head into the site. They offer us 10% off our newsletter. Since this is a site that's largely educational, a better offer than 10% may actually not be a discount at all. It might be like, hey, get our free email guide on beginning with composting. Yeah. All right, so we got our message bar across the top, our big logo. I would invert the logo. I would not necessarily have the logo be black with a black background and yellow. Like if it were just the logo itself were black with a white background, it might read a little cleaner. And I would try to make it wider. That could work. We just have a lot of wasted space here. Or center it might look nice. Certainly on mobile, we run into this issue with this image carousel because the text is part of the image and the theme is cropping it centered. So now you can't actually read it. And then they don't have the call to action in there. So I would, sometimes what we do is we'll modify the theme so the image carousel gives you an option for this is the desktop image, this is the mobile image, or maybe on mobile you just have the carousel hide automatically. Those are theme customizations, but they are not, so you have to hire a developer, but they're not difficult for a developer to do. They would not be costly at all. I love these product photos. Oh my gosh, that's really nice. I like when people have, like, fundamentally it's not an exciting packaging, but it's nice packaging. But then when you put it in this nice presentation, it really stands out and looks nice. And we got our reviews. This is very nice. So here we'll click through, take a look at a product page. Landing on the product page, I like when people use breadcrumbs. The site uses breadcrumbs. I appreciate that. We've got our thumbnails on the side. On mobile, I like to do the thumbnails across the bottom just because then the product photo can be that much bigger. In this instance, the product photo isn't super necessary to make a purchase decision, but if it is, having the thumbnails across the bottom lets that image be bigger. It's the little things. We've got our sale ending notice. As long as that's real urgency, like the sale's actually ending, then I'm on board with countdown timers. They work. But when it's false urgency or scarcity, and you're faking the stuff in your website, it's just a real quick way to lose the customer trust, and you're never going to get it back after that.
Yeah, and we already started talking about how the goal should be to win the customer. What do you think about this add to cart, add to wish list thing? It feels like you're incentivizing add to wish list a little bit more than cart. The cart's jiggling, by the way. So
I saw
every
that.
once in a while, the add to cart button.
Little jiggly cart, which is good because it's easy to miss the cart. I wish the cart was the big button. I wish it had the green background, and then add to wish list could just be text underneath it. That's how Amazon does it. I would do the same thing. Though I do appreciate that they do quantity break. Oh, quantity break is such a great way to increase your average order value. Like if I know this, especially with a consumable good, where I know, like I bought batteries today and I was going to buy 20, but I was like, well, it's only $5 more. I can get 40. And so I ended up buying a ton of batteries. That's the advantage of these quantity breaks, especially on a consumable good.
But how do we actually add that quantity to cart? You have to hit the add to cart and then change the quantity here. So
well, let's try it and see what happens.
Well, there was no quantity on the cart on the product detail page, I think is the problem.
Good point.
You couldn't adjust quantity there. So if we're going to give price breaks, we should probably also allow them to adjust quantity on the product detail page.
You're right. Look at that. And look at this. It nudges me. Add 5 more to get a 15% discount.
That's
and it
awesome.
displays my discount. This is really nice. I wonder if this is bold quantity breaks.
Yeah.
Once we scroll down, it's got this message. Tax included and shipping calculated checkout. Shopify requires themes include that. I always remove it, or I'll replace it with like a free shipping calculator, like a little bit of logic that'll say you qualify for free shipping, or you're $10 away from free shipping. And then we've got this button mess that happens. I would rename checkout to proceed to checkout. That would make the button much wider, and then I would make it the first thing. And then ideally, continue shopping could just be a link. But like similar to the problem we had with the add to cart buttons, we've kind of got our checkout button buried a little bit. Another common optimization we make on mobile is like if you look at it, oh no, my proceed to checkout button is below the fold. On mobile, we'll often add a second one with like in line with the your cart title. And that works pretty well. And finally, let's see what we got here. If they have style checkout, has he style checkout? No, sort of. People always forget to style checkout. I would just make sure you put your logo in here. It'll look nicer. You could change the fonts and colors to match. Like this orange continue to shipping button doesn't match the rest of the site. So I'd update that. I would get rid of the company field. If we can have fewer fields in here, it really makes things work. It will generally increase conversion. And then lastly, if you're on Shopify Plus and you have people saying, I can't find where to add my discount code, one line of CSS in the checkout will force the order summary to always be open. Okay. I think that wraps up Geeky Grandpa.
I've got another one for you. Type in waterdrop.com. And I think it was German originally, but I think you'll be able to translate it. So they're probably based in Germany. Official site. Okay, yeah, you got the right ad.
Is this water drop filter?
Yeah, I think. Oh no, waterdrop.com. Nope.
Okay.
So I guess we're getting outranked by waterdropfilter.com. This one's really interesting though. I kind of want to learn more about this product. That's why I chose it. And let's see if we can will it auto.
It does geolocation. So it says, hey, we think you're from the United States. Shop in the US store. Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Shopify has that feature native now, or there are many apps that'll do it as well. You could also just use JavaScript and write it into the theme. But wow, this site is pretty. And what makes it so pretty is it's clean. Currently it's two colors. It's black and white. There's not widgets and pop-ups and message bars. It's very, very nice. And then they've got just this incredible video back here running as a hero video. And they lead with social proof. What's the first text on this site? Over 500,000 satisfied customers. So even if I don't know what the heck I'm looking at, I know 500,000 people bought it, so maybe I should too. We're social animals. We can't resist it. Well, I'm just marveling at the glory of this website. And then it says, what is water drop? So right away it jumps into explaining it to us. They have illustrated illustrations that try and quickly communicate benefits. Right here, they're exceptional taste, zero sugar. And then on top of that, they're animated. Oh, wow. Here, all right, things fall off the rails a little bit. We're all about choice, find your flavor. When you do text over an image like this, it can be tough to read. So often we'll add a transparency behind the text that'll make it easier to read. And maybe you can have that happen on mobile instead of desktop, depending on the layout. Or you can often just add a drop if it's really subtle. Like right now I can read it, but it's tough. You can add a drop shadow to it on mobile, and you can make it subtle where it doesn't impact your design, but it makes it more legible. Readability is so important. And then again here, look, they're leading with social proof by having these pull quotes from reviews with publication logos that we'd recognize. And by this point, by the time they're like, hey, get yourself this $25 water bottle, you're like, oh yeah, I'm in, let's do it. Though it is a little confusing. Like, is this the product? Because I didn't think it was, right? Shop all coming soon. This menu is a little unusual. Water drop edition bottles. I didn't think it was a bottle. I thought it was like a...
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like an in-water product.
Yeah, that's what I kept seeing over and over. I'm very confused as to what's going on here. Is it under coming soon?
I'm looking as well.
Oh yeah, look. Yes, it's under coming soon. Okay, so were these products available, things would have been different.
I gotcha. They haven't gotten the product, the core product to market yet, but I guess that'll be what we see once it's
Okay.
live. Oh, in Europe they have it live. Is what Christian is saying.
Oh, okay. That's why it is like this on the US site. So then really this site's like core purpose should be, since it successfully sold me on it, and especially for $9, I'm like, I want to try it. I'm in. Truly. It should be focused on collecting emails. Like this would be, if we had an email pop up on scroll, like when I got to 60%, if it said, hey, we're not quite ready to ship in the US, we will be soon, put in your email and you'll be the first to know when it's available. That would be smart, and have your pop-up fire on scroll when they hit like 70%. Because otherwise, like had we not, I think most people would have just bounced before we took the time to poke around in here, and then you were able to ask them. We would not have figured out what's going on otherwise. Cool site though, really pretty.
Awesome. All right, I've got one, maybe two more for you, and I see a Yinka. I want to get to everybody. We can't always, but go to drip4men.com. After water drop, we're moving to drip.
It sounds cool. All right, Drip for Men. Urban men's fashion online store offering premium denim jeans, hoodies, sweatsuits, watches, and accessory. Fast track shipping included. So I like in the meta description, I always try to mention shipping. I'm like, hey, free shipping on orders over whatever, shop now. And that does genuinely help. Your meta description is an opportunity to increase click-through rate from organic search. So I wouldn't sleep on it. Make sure you've got a clear and concise and compelling meta description followed by a call to action. And Drip for Men's, this one's pretty good. Once we land on the site, right there at the top, they bust my biggest objection. Free tracked shipping to most countries. That's amazing. So they're really leaning on being able to sell internationally, which I think is cool. Our currency switcher could do with some love. It's kind of buried behind this thing. Having the currency switcher be like a sticky widget might be a better way around it, or get it built into that announcement bar. But right now, it's tough to read. This menu's pretty clear. Street Drip Pro. There's a little ambiguous. Like I could guess what they are, but that's okay. And normally I would not waste the space on having a home link up here. And then whenever I see gift cards in a main menu, I always ask, hey, how many gift cards do you sell? And the answer is often like, not many. So if someone's looking for a gift card, they're going to search for it or look at the footer. You don't have to have it in the main menu. We've got our COVID-19 statement. That's good. And instead of all right, we got featured collection. Instead of say featured collection, say like, what's trending? New, in stock, ready to ship. We could come up with something more compelling than featured collection.
Yeah, they don't care that it's a collection. In fact, it's more like what you guys are buying, right? It's more like bring a social proof element in there.
Whoa, look at these pants.
Yeah, I know you're about to
click through to Street Drip. And once I'm in a collection, we don't have sorting. That's okay, but I like to have sorting. I was just
patched camouflage, Kurt's weakness.
Oh, I do love my camo and some like throwback 90s stuff. I'm getting excited here. This is a cool store. So in the collection page, they've got a nice description. I just wish we had sorting. That's all. And I don't see review stars in the collection page. Look at how many, they've got so many photos. That's fabulous. I love when I got a lot of photos. I would try to get them all to the same size, and then you don't have this weird issue where it resizes like that. It's not a big deal, but if you want to be like really picky about the experience. But I love that there's a ton of photos, and they're all high quality and nice. And it ends, they included the size chart in the photos. I don't think it's enough to just put the size chart as a link in the product form, which you should. I always try and include it in the photos as well as the in a size chart link in here. And that's, I see, is missing here. And then down here it also says refer to size chart. So it would be nice if like with the size thing it had size chart in here. The color army green. And shipping is included to most countries. Cool.
What do you think about
the you may also like?
In the corner? I mean, we just followed up a messenger session.
Well, it's live chat. Yeah. So it depends, like, is anyone available? So clicking it, get started. So I assume it would
They're
work.
hopping on right now. They're like, oh crap, I gotta go.
Yeah, see, that's what's weird about this. How many customers had a question they wanted answered, and then they opened this thing, and they just got whatever the heck this is? I have no idea what this is, and it typically replies within 1 day. This isn't really live chat. It's just a weird version of email if it's got the delay. I would turn it off. If you have live chat and you can't man it or fully automate it, just ditch it, because all you've done, like an unmanned live chat, you've essentially brought the experience of leaving someone a voicemail to your website.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think what's missing there is just you want a couple of quick automations that are like, what can we help you with today? Click XYZ button, sizing, in stock, shipping, or question about product, right? And then let the user start choosing their own experience. And then a human can come on later to answer the more detailed questions.
I would also try to break up, when you have a big block of text like this, I always hear, oh, people don't read. Well, it's because you didn't present them text that's particularly readable. So short line lengths really help. So bullet points, using the enter key and adding some break tags, breaking these things into paragraphs will absolutely help people find the stuff. Bolding key things in here will help them read it better. And then I certainly, I never include the share buttons. If you heat map it, these will never get used. They'll get used 1 time out of 2,000 visits. And then under you may also like, I often rename that to like other customers also viewed. I want some implicit social proof there. And I'm glad he's got buy it now enabled. That's the dynamic checkout button. Though it's a little odd that it's not showing me the Apple Pay, but that's okay. All right, I've added it to cart. And oh no, we've got, see, like the messenger kind of overlaps the checkout button. I love that they have the icon on here. I talked to one of the guys at Out of the Sandbox yesterday. He said they added lock icons to their checkout buttons after a study from PayPal that showed it basically universally increases conversions.
Interesting. And then I think there's an opportunity for upsell here in this little cart pullout, right?
Oh, for sure. And then once we get in here, we've got what in the heck? Secure payments by PayPal. What is this? It looks a little messy, is my concern. Like, even if this were a white background, like the whole top was a white background and the Drip for Men logo was in black, and then this PayPal thing wouldn't be quite so jarring. But it doesn't, like secure payments. This thing's not confidence inspiring at the moment.
Yeah.
Got our express checkout.
It's kind of contradicting itself. Secure payments by PayPal. You don't need PayPal. I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah. No, I would just get rid of that thing. That's confusing. If you're worried about it, you could, if you edit the themes languages, you can rename that payment label to secure payment if you're really concerned about it. I always make sure this is checked by default. Keep me up to date. And, get some more opt-ins. I always remove email from here as well. And, oh no, it's asking me for my phone. If it's going to ask you for your phone number, I wouldn't, and this looks like it's required. Yeah, it's required. I wouldn't make it required because not everybody wants to give up their phone number. Fewer fields in the checkout will always increase conversions.
And a lot of times it says email or phone number there at the top one, which it doesn't say here. So that's kind of interesting.
That's a good question. That's an option in settings checkout. You could choose I think it defaults to email only, but you could change it to email or phone.
And then if they put their phone number in and then they check that keep me up to date, then the phone number is opted into SMS, I think, or at least they can receive a text message. I don't remember exactly how that works, but you want to make sure if you're doing SMS that you're capturing that phone number at as many places as possible.
Yeah, because SMS if you're doing SMS marketing, it's hugely valuable. Our clients will typically see a return on ad spend around 20 to 30x with SMS. It's wild.
Yeah. And then Nan says that in Singapore, they require mobile numbers. And then M. Smith says that you can't use Apple Pay in UAE-based stores. So I think every single business here has a slightly different problem than everyone else, right? In what we need.
Right. There's so regionally, a lot of this stuff changes, and there's unusual legislated nuances to it. Though, in this case, being that it's in US dollar, I just assumed that Drip for Men was US.
Yeah. And they definitely did say something about the international shipping. Kurt, we're out of time already. If people want to talk to you, I know you have like a packed schedule. Do you even have time for new merchants these days?
I do 1 hour strategy calls. I have time for that. For new projects, we're already booking stuff now for people getting ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I really don't have a ton of availability at the moment, and probably won't until December. No, let's make it January, because I'm taking off for December. All right, I need to chill.
You will not. No one here will see me in December unless we happen to grab a beer at Tiger's Tap Room down the street with masks on.
But no, if you want to find out more about me, Google me. Head to kurtelster.com. Sign up for my newsletter. It comes from my actual email address. If you send me a thoughtful question, I will probably send you a thoughtful reply. Or check out my podcast or YouTube channel. Our most recent episode, I personally thought was laugh out loud funny, but that's me patting myself on the back. So
that's yeah. Usually I'm laughing at during your episode at one point or another. Something silly is going on there, and
a lot of shenanigans.
Something, yeah, a bit of shenanigans and a lot of off-topic rants, but they still always tie it back to e-commerce and the merchant and get me thinking about something that I haven't quite thought about before, which is what I love.
I appreciate that. That's 100% accurate. Off-topic rants that get me thinking about e-commerce. Yep, that's our shtick.
And that's what makes them number one, guys. It is the most listened to podcast especially in the Shopify space, but I believe in e-commerce as a whole.